How's it going, everyone, and welcome to week 13. We're facing off against the Raiders here. We have a pretty good winning streak going for us right now, and we're gonna look forward to keep that going for us right here as we face off against the Auckland Raiders here. Overall they're very tough. They're like an up and coming team. You know what I'm saying? As far as the QB play, they have a very solid QB in Derek Carr. So offensively they have a few young players that are in key positions, such as the wide receiver and the running back positions. But overall, they're not a very veteran group of people right there. On the offensive side. As far as the defense goes, which is the one that we're gonna task at hand here is going to be the defense, which they are a very veteran, group of people here that we're going to be facing off against, especially that safety position, where Woodson is playing. I mean, the guy's just relentless, even at the later age that he is at. He's 35, 38, I think. So that's a pretty old guy right there playing safety, but we're not gonna underestimate that guy because he definitely has everything that a safety must have, to be a great safety. He's got the experience, he's got the stats, he's got everything to back it up for him to be a Hall of Famer, in the future. So, even though our defense is going to have a relatively easy time against their offense, us, we're going to have our hands full facing off against their defense. Right there you see Justin Tuck right there. He's going to be pressuring Alex Smith all game long, I guarantee you that. So we're going to try to, come back to our strengths as far as the middle of the field goes. We're going to try to dominate that, and we're going to try to, of course, put up some points in the board for us as well. Right here you actually see me going with the running game, with the running play, actually try to establish a running game here. I'm not going to give up on that. Every game I'm going to try to see if I can get some working on that end. And Kansas City against Raiders, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Oakland Raiders is always going to be a matchup. These two teams have a history of right there. Oh boy, I thought Macklin was going to have that touchdown right there for himself. But I was going to say the Oakland Raiders against the Kansas City Chiefs is always going to be one of those heated matchups, because of the history of the two teams. The history that the two teams have. They always give it 110% whenever they face each other. So you we'll have some fun facing off against the Oakland Raiders, to say the least. Right here, you see me actually going ahead, and I risked it. I risked everything against the Raiders defense here on 4th and 1, and that was actually a no-brainer decision. We want to establish some ferocity going into this game, and what better way of doing so than risking a 4th and 1? It was a very plausible conversion, so I just went ahead and took that risk. It paid off, as you can see here, because we got that conversion not too long ago, but we're gonna try to capitalize on that and try to get some points, even though on the last play we actually ended up losing some yards. Right here, look, I'm gonna try to see if I can get them back. Right there, I'm quite open. He decided to go with Kelsey. Seems to be, oh no, my bad, it wasn't Kelsey actually. But I'm trying to establish myself as the QB, sort of like safety blanket, if you know what I mean. When he's under pressure, I'm gonna try to see if I can get his attention, so that I can get him to throw the football at me. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more reliable. On the previous game, I had a lot of drop balls. And right there, that's a pretty solid and tough gain right there. We're gonna try to capitalize on this drive here, and with the touchdown. That's always the goal. It's gonna be better if I can do it running, but unfortunately Charles could not get into the end zone. We're gonna give it a second try right here. This time it's gonna be a pass. I'm gonna just break 90-degree route right here. Uh, well, that was touching right there. Uh, who's that? That's a pretty cool dance right there. That's Macklin, of course. He's got very reliable hands, and he was able to come into that middle of the field faster than we were. So, but a touchdown is a touchdown, no matter if it was from one of my teammates, it's all the more sweeter, because we got that lead right there, and that's the one thing that we always try to get. So, I was saying a little bit earlier that on the previous episode we had a lot of drop balls right there, and that kind of taints what we're trying to do right here, and it's good to come up with these solid catches for conversions like you saw me doing right there. That's gonna certainly make an argument against being a receiver that is prone to drop the balls with the passes. So, look forward for me to address that issue as we progress into this rookie season. And the key right there, I just said it. This is a rookie season, and by all means, you're gonna see mistakes. But I also want you to see a lot of potential. Towards the end, as we get into that post season, I want you to see. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that we get a solid record, solid ratio of win to losses. We're in first place in our division, so that right there is going to guarantee us a spot in the playoffs. But more than that, I really want to make a deep run into the playoffs. Hopefully, see a championship. Uh, you know, in which I can address all the issues that I've been having in the regular season so far. As a rookie. So right there, that's one of the reasons why I want to get into the postseason as bad as I want. So that it'll give me a chance to address all the issues that we've been showing up as a rookie so far into these regular season. So right here, on one of the issues that I've been having because of the chemistry and the things that the way that things work with our QB here, it's those deep routes. I could run a skinny uh, and still get a completion, but any other route that is a little bit more elaborate, it'll give you some trouble because of right there you saw that Alex Smith just got sacked. Khalil Mack's just a very young, talented player that's always gonna give your offense trouble, regardless of what kind of offense you're running, whether it's in a running offense or a passing offense. He's gonna give you trouble either way. But the way that things have been going for Alex, he's just been getting sacked. He doesn't have the O line does not provide enough time for him to release that ball. For his receivers out there, when they're running long routes, if you can call them that. Uh, but in the other side of the coin also, the O line hasn't been strong enough for us to establish a solid running game that Alex can depend on. And I'm not trying to put up excuses. I'm right there. I just failed that block. I'm not trying to put up any excuses for anybody. Trust me, I'm not. I'm not about that. Uh, but I'm just trying to give you a small explanation of what's been happening. Because I certainly don't want to leave anything unaddressed. I want to address every single aspect of my game, of my gameplay, and everything as much as I can. To give you guys some idea of what I'm trying to do. Right now I gave you a brief explanation of what has been troubling our team, uh, and now moving on, I'm gonna try to address those issues. And right there, that's a pretty cool pass, and that's a catch right there. That's a wonderful pass, pretty amazing catch right there. I was hogging, the sideline right there, and Alex saw me open. I wasn't even that open, to be honest, but he just trusted me, and it's good to see that happening between him and I, where he trusts me enough to put that ball in the air for me, so that I can go ahead and make that reception right there. Which, if I say so myself, it's a very good and much welcome completion right there for us, right? right there, Kelsey. He's one of the toughest tight ends that I known. Not too long ago, I forgot who the defensive player was, but they called him a fake uh, Gronkowski. I found that comment pretty funny because Kelsey, he's a pretty tough tight end, if I might say so myself. I mean, of course, Gronkowski right now, he's the gold standard for tight ends. Now that Gonzalez, from Atlanta, from the Kansas City, he was actually with us for a little while right there. That's a tough completion right there. I mean, a good completion and tough catch right there. Uh, but Tony Gonzalez was, for the longest time, he was the golden standard for tight ends. And right now, I would like to say that Gronkowski, he's the guy as far as tight ends go, because he's so very dynamic. He's very tough, and he can get those tough catches completed. And right there, that's I was hoping for the longest time. Where I think it was like 2 days that I was hoping right there. It's very good to see that Alex and I are connecting so far in this game. I'm pretty happy about that. Uh, but yeah, addressing Kelsey, I was commenting about him. He's a pretty tough tight end himself. I think he will be on in my top five. Gronkowski being number one. Then of course Antonio Gates being a close second. Jimmy Graham, in the past years he would make a compelling argument to be, right there on par against Gronkowski, but lately he's just been having a terrible season with the Seahawks. He still has to find chemistry with Russell Wilson, much like ourselves. He's got the same problem. It's all about the chemistry that you have with your QB that will determine whether you're going to be a successful receiver or tight end for that matter. So, on the third, I think, that guy from the Browns, I forget his name. I think it's Barnage. He's a pretty young guy, up and coming. And then four that would place, the guy that we were just talking about, Jimmy Graham, simply because of what he's done previous years. In previous years, but right now in the present he's struggling a little bit. But still, he does deserve some recognition for what he has been able to do in the game. Um, but some might argue that Jimmy Graham's, straight out just a wide receiver. I've heard that. And right here, I'm gonna try to run this. I tried to came back on that route right there, but it was just a catastrophe for me right there. But yeah, I've heard that argument where people say that Jimmy Graham is a wide receiver. Just go ahead in the comments and let me know what would differentiate a wide receiver from a tight end. Because it is very often with the Saints that we saw Jimmy Graham be lined up as a receiver, and he was very successful as a receiver. And fourth and 9. That's terrible. I think we just gave him the first down. The reason why I went out there with the offense for the complete fourth downs, it was because I just wanted to burn the clock right there. You see, we only left them with 4 seconds, and we're just gonna wrap this game up for us. And let me know who your top 5 tight ends are, who your top 5 wide receivers or your top 5 QBs are. I'm interested to see what next up in the next episode we'll address the defense, because there's some pretty good defenders out there as well. This is Frank signing out for now. See you in the next one.